You know that feeling when your morning starts not with coffee, but with an interrogation? My name is Alex, and I woke up today, but I wasn't alone. A beast moved into my skull. Not just a headache, but something with its own pulse and a filthy temper. It doesn't knock, it drills. My alarm clock was still silent, but this creature had already begun its monologue. Sound familiar? Right now, I will teach you how to talk about it in a language the whole world understands. You think too much, the pain whispered. It wasn't just a throbbing. It was a smooth, slithering voice saying, "It's going to be a long day." I tried to stand up. Big mistake. The beast dug its claws into the back of my head, the nape, and yanked me back onto the pillow. In moments like this, you forget every foreign word you've ever learned. Only a primal moan remains. But as my teacher used to say, use pain as fuel. So instead of groaning, I told myself, this is a sharp pain. Sharp, like a blade, like a splinter of glass. Remember it. Pain hates silence. I flicked on the lamp, and it exploded like fireworks behind my eyelids. Body language is universal. I squeezed my eyes shut, and it meant I can't stand the light. Not I don't like, but precisely I can't stand at the limit of my abilities. It's amazing how physical distress strips us down to our core. We become animals that only crave darkness and coolness. But I forced myself to think constructively. Where exactly was the enemy hiding? It is in my temples. Temples, like a vice is squeezing my skull. It was dull and enveloping. Dull ache. A term that sounds almost gentle, but don't let it fool you. Dull is when it doesn't stab, but it gnaws and exhausts you, like dripping water. I looked in the mirror. A pale clerk with red streaks, and his eyes stared back. My nose was blocked. It was a call to arms. A cold? A migraine? Don't guess. The fact remained. I feel awful. Not bad, but awful, shattered. Time to work with a dictionary. My rave inside the skull continued, so I decided to catalog it. Let's unlock a secret. To memorize a word, you must live through it. Right then, something was pulsating in my eye. Throbbing pain. Throbbing is a rhythm, like a drum, like the bass from your neighbor's wall at 3 a.m. Pain is the best mnemonic device. If you learn the word throbbing when your temple is pounding, you will never forget it. It becomes a conditioned reflex. There's a pain we've earned. My muscles were aching after yesterday's workout. My muscles are sore. Sore is a pleasant fatigue mixed with micro-injuries. But this wasn't it. What twisted my neck was an evil spasm. I couldn't turn my head. The doctor inside me diagnosed, I have a stiff neck. Stiff, rigid, wooden. Imagine a rusty robot trying to look back. That's me. Movement caused a flare-up. It hurts when I move. A simple sentence that saves lives in the emergency room. My stomach decided to join the general chorus. Not a sharp pain, but a strange bubbling. How to describe this to a doctor without resorting to pantomime? My stomach is upset. Or, I feel nauseous. Nausea is a cunning thing. It comes in waves. When I was a kid, I thought the word nausea sounded like the name of an exotic sea. Now I know it's a stormy sea inside you. I put my hand on my stomach, trying to soothe the sensation, and whispered, "Calm down." It didn't work. What about the skin? Sometimes pain comes from the outside. A burn, a cut. In my case, I had a feeling as if my skin had been rubbed with sandpaper. It feels raw. Raw, like uncooked meat. A very precise word. No blood, but the touch of clothing causes distress. It reminds us of our vulnerability. We are just fragile vessels filled with nerve endings. I am sensitive to touch. Hypersensitivity. The nervous system is overloaded. Even the air in the room feels too heavy. I left the apartment. Pain followed me like a loyal dog. The street met me with the smell of exhaust fumes and harsh light. My temples tightened further. If you want to describe an increase in pain, use gradation. The pain is getting worse. Or more artistically, It's intensifying. The world narrowed down to my physical sensations. Passers-by became blurry shadows, their voices a hum. I had one single desire. I wanted to stop. A phrase understood without translation anywhere in the world. I ordered tea at a cafe. The hot mug burned my palms, and it was pleasant. Pain loves contrasts. To distract the brain, you need to send it another signal. Language reflects this. The warmth soothes me. Soothe is a wonderful verb. It sounds like the fizz of a soothing balm, but a sip of boiling water burned my tongue. Now a new note was added to my collection. It stings. Doesn't hurt, but stings like nettles. I sighed. Pain is a complex symphony. I thought, it's not just one note. It's an orchestra. Suddenly, a twinge in my side. A sharp flash that made me freeze with the cup in hand. A stabbing pain, as if from a knife. Stab is a strike with a blade. A very strong word. Don't use it for mild discomfort. You won't be understood. I held my breath, waiting to see if it would pass. There's an idiom in English that fits perfectly here. To hold your breath. To wait with bated breath. The pain left as suddenly as it arrived. The pain subsided, retreated, but the residue remained. A heaviness in the chest. Not a heart attack, but an emotional dam. Often, our physical pain is a cry from the soul we've been ignoring. How do you say, I'm sad to the point of physical pain? It aches. The verb to ache works for both the heart and the muscles. My soul hurts. My heart aches. This isn't drama. It's a statement of fact. We carry entire ghost cities inside us. Old grudges, stress, fatigue. And when the public utilities of these cities fail, the lights start to flicker. And then she comes. I return home. Curtains drawn. Silence. The language of pain is often metaphorical. We don't just feel sick. We fight. We cope. I was lying on the couch, negotiating with my body. What do you need? I asked aloud. The familiar throbbing was the answer. My nervous system resembled a bare wire. I am on edge, on the brink of a breakdown. Edge is a border, a precipice, a very precise image. You're standing on tiptoe over a chasm, and the slightest breeze can push you over. My throat started hurting. Not just a tickle, but the feeling of sandpaper when swallowing. A sore throat. A classic. But how do you explain that it's not just sore, but something sharp? You can say, it feels like swallowing broken glass. Language gives us tools for hyperbole, so the doctor understands the severity of the problem. I tried to swallow saliva and winced. It's killing me. It's killing me. Dramatic? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. Remember the scale from 1 to 10? Doctors love it, but numbers are boring. Imagine that words are colors. A dull ache is gray concrete. A burning sensation is an orange flame. A stabbing pain is a flash of neon light. I was translating my sensations into adjectives. It was a game to keep me from going insane. It's a persistent, nagging pain. Nagging, one that doesn't let you sleep. The verb to nag means to grumble, to harp on. The pain grumbles at you for hours without shutting up. My pain was exactly like that, an insistent spouse arguing. I took a sip of warm water with lemon. The acid burned the cracks in my throat. It burns, I stated, but it was a cleansing. You have to distinguish the shades of pain. Healing pain and destructive pain. Muscles after the gym mean growth. A headache after a long day means decay. I began to understand my body's language without a translator. It spoke the universal language of neurons, and I finally began to answer it in proper English. I hear you. I'm working on it. By evening, the pain began to retreat. It didn't disappear entirely, but it changed tactics. It was no longer shouting. It was whispering. The pain is easing. The verb to ease means to slacken, to let go. Imagine a tightly stretched string, inside you going slightly slack. You can breathe. A useful word. Relief. That sweet feeling when hell is over. I feel relieved. It's not happiness. It's the cessation of suffering, which is sometimes much more pleasant. It got dark in the room. Silence ceased to be an enemy. It became a canvas. I realized that pain is the most honest narrator. It doesn't lie about our condition. And to learn the language that describes, it means to learn the language of survival. From the banal ouch to the complex, I have a splitting headache. All these are steps of empathy toward yourself. We rarely thank ourselves for our patience. And in vain, I closed my eyes, and instead of the usual spasm, I felt only a faint echo, just a faint pain. How do you say that nothing hurts? Oh, it's a wonderful construction. I feel no pain. Or more vividly, I am pain-free, free from pain, like a bird released from a cage. But the paradox is that, having gotten rid of the pain, I felt an emptiness. We grow accustomed to our monster. We learn its language. And when it leaves, silence remains. And we must also learn to describe this silence with words. Otherwise, how will we understand that we were happy? The absence of pain is a blessing. So, friends, next time pain comes to visit you, don't chase it away immediately. Listen to its story. Translate it into English. Ask where exactly it lives. Where does it hurt? Describe its character. Is it sharp or dull? Assess its strength. Is it mild or severe? Turn it into a free tutor. Because when you learn to speak about pain, you'll be able to ask for help. And asking for help in a foreign language without embarrassment is mastery of the highest level. I'm turning off the camera. My beast is asleep today. He gave me the material for this video. Tomorrow, he might wake up again, but I'm not afraid anymore. I have the words. I can handle it. And you will handle it too. Take care and learn the language with your body, not just your head. Bye.